Do you hunt? Do you climb trees? Well, then this is important for you. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Today we are talking all about climbing sticks. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we are talking all about climbing sticks. Now, climbing sticks are one of the most important things that you can use in your hunt. I'd say that behind your bow and either your stand or platform, your sticks are super important. So I want to walk you through the sticks that I've used over the years, my likes, my dislikes with them, and then the mods that I've made to them to make them what I think are the best sticks on the market. Should my opinion matter to you? Well, I don't know. Here's the deal. I weigh 240 pounds and I hunt well over 200 days a year. So I'm climbing up and down sticks a lot, and I'd like to think that I have a pretty decent opinion on what I like and what I don't like in a stick, and also the features that I think are important versus features that I think are just really not that big of a deal that some people like to market or say are a big deal. So let's get into my likes, my dislikes, and everything that I'm looking for in a climbing stick, as well as the changes that I've made to them. If you're looking for a specific review on a stick, or if you're looking for a specific stick in general, check below. This is going to be a pretty long video, and I'm going to put bookmarks below that have all the different stick titles too. So if you don't want to watch my whole spiel, that's fine. Just flip through and find the stick that you're looking for. So first off, let's start with the first stick that I ever used. This is the OG Lone Wolf stick. These were awesome sticks. I used these for years and years and years. This exact stick, look, I got hockey tape dangling off, it just fell off. See ya. This exact stick, I've probably, geez, I have no idea how many hunts I have on them. I used a set of these sticks for 7 or 8 years. For a long time, these were the best stick out. They're a little heavy, they weigh 2.5 pounds. They can be a little loud, but I love the button on them. The attachment method was really good, and the step was really good. So I'd say the pros of this, I liked the fact that it was a 3-step stick. You could get pretty high with 4 sticks. I think I was probably around 20 feet or so. Granted, you know, all of this is prefaced on the fact that I'm 6'3". I have a pretty long step, and I'm able to get pretty good distance between sticks, but again, I'm not a monkey or by any means, I'm clearly not that flexible. So this stick has 3 steps to it, which are nice, although it only has single steps. So you need to move this one way or the other, depending on how you're climbing up. So that's one thing to consider. I wasn't a huge fan of that because of the fact that you have to kind of figure out where you're going to hunt on the tree at the base of it. It's not that big of a deal, but there were a couple times in a run and gun situation where once I got up, I realized, oh, I want to be facing slightly differently than I am. You can't really make that decision. But what's great about this stick is the Versa button. As far as I know, Lone Wolf really brought this to the market. This is a huge, huge, huge advantage. Very nice to have that. The buckle attachment is loud. I don't have the buckle that I used to use on these. I took a yak grip, which is a kayaking grip, and wrapped it around that buckle and put it on here. But after a couple years, what I started using was a small accessory cord of AM steel is what I ran on here. The AM steel attachment method was amazing. So I just buried the end of it on one side and then would loop it through on the other end. This was a great stick. But eventually I got tired of the length of it. They're kind of cumbersome to pack through the woods. I found the best way to pack them was just over the shoulder. And they just got a little too big. You can't strap them to your pack. Wasn't a huge fan of them. They kind of dangle around when you're climbing the tree, and they just got in the way. If you are running these sticks, one of the things that I did was I started putting a little dab of silver inside of the standoff. Or excuse me, of the step. And so that allowed me to see that step when I'm walking up and down the tree. That was pretty helpful. The other kind of drawback to this step, or this stick, is the way that the step resides on, like, the way that the step stops. There's a post on here, which you can see, and this stick will rotate, or excuse me, the step will rotate and hit that little Allen head. This eventually will wallow out and get either wallowed there, or what you'll get are the steps will get deformed on here where they're resting. This stick really, these steps were brand new. They probably only have about 25 or 30 climbs on them, and they already look like that. So there are some wear and tear items on this, something to think about, but overall, this is a great stick. If you're just getting into the market, you can find these really easily. They're cheap. They're pretty good. They stack well, but they are a little loud. I obviously wrapped them in hockey tape to try and minimize that noise, but I don't know. I'd say about a 5 out of 10. I think there are better sticks out there on the market after this. All right, next in the lineup, we're gonna go, these are modified Hawk Helium sticks. Hawk now sells a generic version of this that's off the market. That's actually much easier to use, but these are sticks that the great and powerful Greg Godfrey made for me, which, you know, it's just got a little special piece of my heart in it. But these started out as a 3-step stick. Greg cut them down, modified them, and then added different attachment methods to it in order to be a little smaller in the tree. I think they went that way. Those white shoes are going to be chocolatey at the end of that. Some of the pros of these sticks are the fact that they have 2 steps on them, which is really nice. Also, the attachment method to each other with these suction cups are pretty nice. They're able to pack pretty tightly together, and overall they work pretty well. You know, you're able to put them on your pack. I like the 2 steps, but overall these are pretty good sticks. I liked how they packed. They're a little heavy for what they are, and obviously, you know, they're metal, so they can be a little loud if you bang them together, but as long as you're slow and take your time, you're not gonna have an issue with them. I'd say the pros are the packability. I really like how compact they pack. You can dump them together real easy, and with 3 of them and an 8er, you can get pretty high up the tree. I also made sure to add the silver in here to help me see this coming up and down the tree. I really like kind of how sharp these are for your boots, but overall I felt like there were some better sticks available to me, but I'd say these are kind of like a, I don't know, 6.5 out of 10. Now, if you are just starting in this mobile hunting craze, or you know, if you're getting into hunting, these are great value. You can buy these from Hawk relatively inexpensively for a 3-pack. They're a good starting point to have, but ultimately I think that you can spend a little more money and get something a little better. Next up, we have one of my favorite sticks. These are the Timber Ninja Outdoors carbon sticks. These sticks, I have the one retractable 8er on, the other ones I don't, so this is my bottom stick that I use. I'm also using the Tethrd Versa straps on these to just slip over the buttons. Very helpful. Overall, these are great sticks. I like how lightweight they are. I like how they pack. I'm able to just throw these on my backpack and roll. To me, that's a big deal. I really, really like that. Not many drawbacks. The one thing I don't like about these is also a selling point, and that's the fact that the step is plastic, but that also helps keep them lightweight. So if you're looking for a lightweight, you know, versatile stick that is ready to go out of the package, these are it. I like how they're nice and quiet. I like the fact that they're carbon and they're kind of always warm to the touch. The build quality is great. I really like the way that they're designed and built. You know, there's only one bolt that goes through this and bolts right into the standoff. There aren't a bunch of additional bolts, additional pieces. There are really no moving parts to this. That's a big deal to me. I like the fact that this will last forever. They're super lightweight. I really like that. I believe these come in at about 6.5 pounds is what this full thing runs with my 8er on here. And then the only thing I've done other than these Tethrd Versa straps on it is I have just one bungee cord on there. It just keeps them together, keeps them nice and quiet. So these are great sticks out of the box. The only drawback to them is they're expensive. But again, you get what you pay for, right? So good stick, good versatile stick. You know, this is a solid 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 in my book. maybe a little higher. I don't really know how it gets better than this. So yeah. I was also fortunate enough to be able to get the new aluminum. I believe this is the A1 stick, but as of the recording of this, there's no name for it. So this is just an aluminum version of the carbon fiber stick that we were just talking about. Again, I like the construction. I like the way that it's all streamlined. There's one bolt through here. It's nice and compact for step distance. And I really like the fit and finish of the way that these steps fit onto the aluminum. They're absolutely perfect. They're very tight, and overall just a phenomenal stick. So if you want all the benefits of the carbon stick, but you don't want to pay for it, this is your guy. A little bit heavier, but overall not a ton. You do have the aluminum though instead of carbon fiber, so this will be a little louder if you clamp them together, but you know, it's a great stick as well. You kind of want to weigh your pros and cons. If you want to save a little money and still have the benefits, then this is a good stick. If you want to go all out and weight is a big deal for you, then the carbon fiber is a good way to go. But either way, they're both good sticks. All right, next up, we are talking about the Beast Stick. This is a great stick. This was one of my favorite sticks until some other sticks came out on the market, but overall these are great sticks. So for these, what I did, I went through and replaced the bolts in here to all grade 8 bolts. I believe the newer ones that are coming from Beast Gear come with grade 8 bolts, but these were the first run that they came out with. I was super jacked when these came out. I signed up, bought them right away. The only drawback I've had with these is I bent a couple of the standoffs, whether it was from the bolt loosening over time and hunking down on it, or whatever it was. Could have been the fact that I'm just a big heavy dude and it had 240 pounds of chewed bubble gum stepping down on it. But you know, there were a couple times that it bent, although Beast Gear was great. They just sent me a new one right away, no questions asked. So overall, these are a phenomenal climbing stick. They're light. I love the angle of the step here. To me, that's a big deal. I also really like the width of the standoff back here. I feel like no matter what, I can get this on a tree and have a good foothold. The standoffs are nice and sharp. They bite into the tree well, even though they have a nice angular design to them to where they don't bite too deep. But I really feel like I'm able to get a good amount of traction on this stick. One thing that's important to remember, I see people ask me if I'm concerned ever about the distance from the tree that the standoff is, and I've read on some forums where a couple people have mentioned that. To me, that's a complete non-issue. I mean, obviously, if there was only an inch or two hanging off the tree, that'd be important, but for me, when I'm climbing, my foot goes on here where the ball of my foot is on the step. I'm never climbing just straight like this. So it's important to get your foot kind of at a 45-degree angle, and that'll really help make that distance from the tree a non-issue. So again, this is a great stick. I think this is definitely a 8.5 or 9 out of 10. The only drawback is it's metal, but you know, I think these are 2 pounds a piece. I'd have to check. But overall, this is a great stick. I've wrapped this in stealth strip. I've also put the silver marking inside the step tread, so that helps me see that when I'm climbing up and down a tree. And the other thing I've done is I've hung a little strip of paracord in here that's about a 50-cent piece size. And so what I do is I will stick that on the side of my saddle. When I'm climbing, I have a little female clip there to receive that, and that helps me just climb right up the tree and not have any issue with these hanging off my side. And that's where I think the distance step to step, that 22-inch size, is a big advantage for me or for anybody that's interested in it, because of the fact that I'm able to get maximum distance, but it packs right onto a backpack really nicely. And when I'm climbing, I don't have to worry about this dangling down and hitting the ground. It's basically down just above, like halfway down my calf, which is a good deal. So overall, I think these are a huge benefit to have size-wise. They feel nice and solid on the tree, especially now with these grade 8 bolts in there. And overall, they're awesome. Another thing to point out is I'm using an Amsteel rope as an attachment, I really like that method. I like to be able to wrap around the tree, pull in tight, come back, I'll tie a little half hitch on there, and know that it's rock solid, nice and tight. Between these and then also the Versa straps or the Versa links from Tethrd, those are all great attachment methods to use on these, and I run them on all my gear. All right, last but not least are the Tethrd ONE Sticks. These are the newest contender in the market space, but these are awesome. Now, full disclosure, I have an affiliation with Tethrd. I got these for free, but that's not going to stop me from talking about the pros and cons of them. Overall, I love these sticks. They're great. I love how tight they pack. I love how quiet they are, but they didn't come out of the box like that, and that's not a big drawback. There are some changes, just like every other stick that we covered that I chose to make on these. I added them with stealth strips, and I also squirted foam down inside of the stick, and that was expanding foam like I used to do with my climber way back in the day, just to help deaden any sound on these. But one of the things I really like about this stick is the construction. So the fact that this step is chemically bonded to this titanium post, and then there's a pin that runs through there. I believe it's a grade 8 roll pin that runs through there. This stick will just wear and tear like iron for years. I think that that is a big, big asset of these. I also, again, love how they stack. They're just super compact. I really, really, really like these. With an 8er, 18 inches step to step, I'm able to get 20 feet no problem with these up in the tree. I've even run just 3 of these with an 8er and had no problem getting 20 feet up in the air. These sticks overall are just fantastic. Extremely lightweight, extremely easy to pack, and just overall great. So these, you know, again, 8.5, 9 out of 10 overall. All right, well, I'm officially an idiot. I'm sitting here in my basement editing this stick review video, and I realize I didn't tell you guys about some of my favorite features on the One Stick, but it's because I meant to go to the tree and record it, and I totally forgot. So let's hop over to the tree right now and let's talk about a couple of the features of this One Stick that I really, really like, and I also think are important. One of the features I want to talk about on this stick is the way that it attaches to the tree. This Dynalock button on here is just insanely awesome. This is the only stick in this entire comparison video that I have not modified the attachment method of, and I think that actually speaks volumes about how cool and slick this is. You know, it just takes a second to wrap the rope around the tree, put it in the little X marked channels, and you're absolutely rock solid, good to go. It is just an absolute phenomenal attachment method, and the way that this stick bites on the tree, it's rock solid. It is just a great, great climbing stick. So you might ask yourself, well, so which one of these sticks am I using? Well, I've used all of these sticks extensively, but currently what I'm hunting with is a One Stick. So this is the Carl Kasuth TIE Fighter. This is a One Stick climbing method. I really like this, not from, you know, the ease of getting up the tree is one thing, and it's really nice to be able to climb a tree basically like a climber, just bang right up it, no issue whatsoever. But I like the fact that I can use this top as my platform also in the tree, or I can bring a platform with me. But what I really, really, really like is the fact that when I'm done, I can just rappel out of the tree. I don't have to worry about putting everything back together. I literally just lower my bow, rappel down a little bit, grab this stick, hook it to my saddle, and rip down the tree. And I'm in and out just like that. Make sure to check back for another video about my full one sticking setup and how I like to use this. But overall, every stick out here is a great option. It really boils down to what are you trying to do with it and what's your budget. If you're trying to run and gun, you hunt a lot, weight is a big issue for you, you know, certain sticks are going to cater to that. If you care more about what you're spending or you're looking for the best value, there are other sticks that will cater to that. But overall, they're all great options, and you really can't go wrong with any of them. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys soon.